Okay, still more core exercises coming at you. Still working kind of the lateral, rotational, anti-rotational core component. Now we're going to flip ourselves onto our backs and work a glute bridge. So these exercises work well paired with other major movements or in a core warm-up circuit, anywhere you like, conditioning or group classes. Okay. So I'm using, again, my 10-pound core bag for this particular series of exercises. I'm going to choose to hold the outsides of the bag just under the end cap handles. You could, of course, also use the end handles. I just find it's a little bit more of a secure grip. I'm going to pull the bag apart with the bag centered over my chest. And I'm going to lift my hips up. This is a glute bridge with sandbag pullover. So as I reach the height of my glute bridge, tucking my tail and drawing my ribs down so I get that hollow body position. I just want to point that out. So we want to make sure that our ribs aren't flared up like that we're pulling the ribs down, really squeezing our butt cheeks. Okay, so I pull the bag apart. As the bag goes behind my head, it activates my core and my lats, and my lats connect into activation of the glutes. Doesn't matter how far back you pull the bag, up to you. You can work on shoulder range of motion there as well, if you're strong enough to lower the bag. Even lower. Awesome. Okay. Second exercise in this series is our glute bridge march with iso sandbag pullover. Iso just short for isometric. So tension into the bag, same grip on the bag. Starting in the top of our glute bridge position, making sure we've got that nice hollow body position. I'm just going to draw the bag back just slightly past my forehead. I'm going to hold the bag in that position as I transfer back and forth between my feet. My effort here is concentrated on the foot that remains on the ground. I'm going to try to continually tuck my ribs down and apply constant pressure to the floor, just so you don't see me kind of switching my hips and having my hips rotate and drop. Having the bag up over my head really actually helps me to stabilize my pelvis, and I can definitely feel my core working. All right, give that one a shot. Our third exercise in this series is called our Sandbag Max glute bridge march. So this exercise now is going to be a little bit more dynamic with a bit more coordination. So work yourself up to this one by mastering the previous exercises. You start in the same position as for the previous two with the sandbag pull apart. At the top of the bridge, I'm going to raise my knee up and draw the sandbag down by my hip. Okay, you can perform them on alternate sides, like I'm showing here, or you could do it over and over again on the same side. And this one is much more difficult than it looks. The load of the sandbag coming down really wants to pull my hip down with it. In order to scale this one to where you're at, start with a light sandbag and modify the range of motion of chopping the bag down. I don't have to bring it down quite as low in order to make it a little bit easier for myself. You definitely want to stick to the version that you can do with proper form and stay there as long as you need to before moving on to the next exercise, because if you are compensating while you're doing it, you're certainly not getting the benefit that the exercise could be offering you once you're strong enough to perform it properly. All right, give those a try.